And welcome
we are
back.
Sorry, we started the conversation a little bit without
That's
you,
as
but
usual.
we'll catch you up right now. Don't worry. That's because we have K1 Samuels here with us this morning. He's abandoning his morning workout just to be here with us.
Yeah.
It's okay.
So that we can learn more about how we can get fit. And so, of course, K1 Samuels is from K1 Fitness. And this morning, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, buddy.
How are you?
I'm all right. Good to be back again.
Energized?
Always.
Okay, great. But today we have a challenge for you.
Yeah, we do.
Today we're not
Challenge.
talking about toning or building abs, or we're talking about someone who can save their life. You know,
Right.
you are obese. You
Right.
are, and quite a number of, I think it's 1 out of every 3 people are obese.
In this country.
In this
Yeah,
country.
obese.
You know, 1 out of 3 is overweight. So you have 2/3 of our population that have excess pounds that they're carrying around. But there is a danger when you have, or I wouldn't say danger. It is difficult when you think of having to lose something as much as 100 pounds
Yeah.
Right.
to just get back onto a healthy track. And I want to ask you, when you have people who come to you like that,
In that-
what's your,
In that type of condition.
Yeah.
Well, the key to it is not focus on you needing to lose 100 pounds.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's where I think you want to start.
okay.
You should really take it one day at a time. Set
Yeah.
very small goals and try to reach realistic goals
Yeah.
as, you know, in a very realistic way as possible. You know,
Yeah.
don't try to do too much too quickly.
Yeah.
I think that's what throws a lot of people out. Like that's what stops them from continuing on for a long period of time
Yeah.
once they get into the gym or once they start doing a regimen or something like that, is that they try to set, okay, they think about it like this. I am 400 pounds obese, and I need to lose 100 pounds if I want to, I don't know, apply for some college insurance, whatever
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
And they go into the gym with the mentality that, okay, this 100 pounds is going to come off as soon as I need it to come off.
Yeah.
So if I give myself 3 months and I need to get my thing done in March and it's January, then I need to start pushing to get this 100 pounds off by then.
Yeah.
But that's kind of you setting yourself up for failure. You know, realistically, that won't happen. In a healthy way, no. So that's when people, I believe, try to seek out different diet plans
Yeah.
and quick fixes.
Yeah.
That-
You see that a lot, don't you?
Too much. I hear about it
Yeah.
a lot. Even people that I don't train would ask me for advice on different fads that are going around.
Yeah.
And
What do you tell
what I
them?
think about it? Well, honestly, I tell them that that type of stuff does a lot for you getting the result, but it doesn't do a lot for you learning how to maintain it.
Yeah.
So I always, what I like to sing to my clients is that it's like a outside looking in approach,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so to speak. Like, okay, I started taking some pills, or I started drinking some tea, or I started having these
These
certain shakes or
yeah.
something like that in replacing my meals or so on. And I lose, say, 50 pounds, but I starve myself of all the macronutrients that I need.
Yeah.
All the carbs. I tell you, oh, don't eat any carbs over this period of time, or don't have any of this and don't have any of that. And you're completely cutting out because you don't know better.
Yeah.
You didn't go through the process of building your habits properly or learning any of the means of actually getting the weight off properly. And you lose the 30 pounds, or you lose the 40 pounds, or you lose the 50 pounds. You're closer to 100 now in much less time than you thought. But at the end of that period, you realize that you're adding on that weight
Yep.
like crazy. It's just coming back on.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because no, you can't hop back on to that the same thing that you were doing before. You already lost the weight that you were supposed to
Yeah.
lose. So if you hop back on and you lose another 100, then that might make you a little worried.
Yeah, yeah. And
So-
in fact, science proves that any fad diet, any restrictive diet
Right.
that works will only lead to more weight gain
Right.
when you stop.
Yes,
Wow.
because you're telling your body's basically picking up that,
Yeah.
okay, well, he's not going to be giving me this thing for the
Yeah.
next, 3 months?
So it stores.
So yeah, as soon
Yeah.
as you reintroduce it to your system, it's like, okay, I'm just gonna hold on to
human
this
body-
right in your thigh and your butt and your
Yeah.
Then the
waist.
gut goes like that.
Keep
Yeah,
it
you
close
got
just in
your
case you
catch-
try to do
yeah.
something crazy again,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So that's where all the fat storing comes
And
in.
that's the truth, because the human body is amazingly adaptable.
It is.
It just adapts to whatever we do to it.
Right.
But it's like a smart system, you know.
Yeah, because
it stores what you're doing to prepare for when you do it again or when you stop doing what you're doing.
The body is especially stubborn, especially when it comes to losing weight.
Yeah.
Putting it on is easy.
Oh,
I had
gosh.
watched a show recently where the guy spoke about, he said, have you ever tried to take off weight? And he's like, yes, it's extremely difficult.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people try. It's extremely difficult.
Yeah.
But have you ever tried to put weight on? No, you don't have to try.
You don't have to
You
try.
just literally sit down and eat and just chill out and the weight
Yeah.
just packs on.
Yeah.
But
There are those few anomalies of people
Yeah.
who do have to struggle to gain
Right.
weight, but
let's
they are
jump
the
on into
few and
minority.
far
But
between.
one thing I want to talk about though before, when we talk about weight, it is important to differentiate, you know, because, and that's where the fad diets fool people a lot of time. How do you teach people the difference between dropping the numbers on the scale or moving to a healthier you?
How do I teach people?
Yeah, because people think that, you know, you lose water weight, you lose this, but sometimes they're still very fat.
yeah.
Right. I think that it all comes down to what exactly your goals are.
Yeah.
Then that'll basically determine your approach to the entire thing. Like
But,
if you're,
but you as a professional, you know, you will definitely see somebody and give them a goal.
Right.
So somebody, and we're going into the guide here, we're meeting somebody who is, let's say, 250, and you know for a fact that the ideal weight for that person is actually, let's say, 170 or 180.
Right.
Because what are the first thing this individual needs to do as they meet you? You see them. What are let's get to the guide. What are the first things they need to get done?
the first things I'd want to know is what exactly their current habits are, like what they do throughout their day, and I could tell them, just to not overwhelm them with too much information about what they need to actually do later on to make sure that this thing actually happens. It's just like try to fix the small stuff and teach them like, okay, if this is what you're doing right now, then here's how you could fix that just a bit. If you're doing it, okay, you normally have your lunch in this size plate.
Yeah.
Let's try to break that down and bring it down to a smaller plate, just for starters. Have a little bit of water half an hour before your meals. Have a little bit of viscous fiber instead of just raw, you know, some plain carbs that's been stripped of all its nutrients or something like pasta or white bread.
Yeah.
You know, have some oats, something that your body will break down and something that will help you feel full a lot longer.
Yeah.
Have some fruits in the morning,
Yeah.
have some green tea, have some coffee.
And people could make oats as delicious as they want, you know, using your fruits, using your honey, using your...
Well, don't say that, because then they'll put in all the condensed milk, and then
no,
then that just depletes the purpose of the oats.
That takes you to one of the main things that you want to introduce to people is that sugar is the number one enemy
Yeah.
for trying to lose weight.
Your body breaks your food down into sugar. Sugar is stored as fat.
Exactly.
So when you talk about, you know, losing 100 pounds, so obesity comes with its own problems.
It is.
So
It does.
you might have a heart condition. You know, this is probably why the doctor's telling you you gotta lose the weight.
Right.
You may have diabetes, hypertension, but also physical wear and tear because of carrying around excess weight.
Right.
So I'll probably have knee problems.
Yes, it
I'll
does.
probably have ankle problems. How do I start to exercise when carrying my weight alone is so hard?
Right. So depending on how heavy you are, that'll determine what regimen I normally use. If you're above a certain threshold, then you know swimming might be the safest thing for you. You can't put that much pressure on your joints. I can't throw you on a treadmill to do running. All that pounding will be it will be very impactful on your knees and your spine. So probably doing some light aerobic work in a pool or something would be the best thing for somebody who's absolutely been separated from the idea of exercising. Even.
Okay.
Yeah.
And let's jump on into jogging. Now, is jogging a good way to lose weight?
The thing is that if you're not exerting more force or energy doing that particular exercise that actually challenges you, then it would be something like not really for you to lose weight, just maybe for you to maintain some decent form of health.
So if I'm totally inactive and I say, okay, I'm going to get up and start to run. You know, I don't go to the doctor, I don't check it. I'm just getting out there and I'm going to start running because that's how I'm going to take myself from 300 pounds to 200 pounds.
Right. So after I've already assessed the person who basically shared what their habits are and whatnot, then of course the next thing would be to go into what the medical, risks might be. Well, if somebody who's morbidly obese might have breathing problems, even
It's true. Yeah.
So respiratory issues are very, very, very common. And
You have to check that out.
right, you don't want any liability as a trainer or anybody
Yeah.
who owns a business that you have people coming in like that. So the next best thing would be for us to find out if there are any medical risks involved,
Yeah.
and then first do a full checkup,
Yeah.
and then we could follow that report.
You know,
Yeah.
and it's so important for folks to check out their medical status, because yesterday in the program, from transforming your body from one thing to the other,
Right.
you need to go to the doctor
Yes,
first
you do.
to see if you're able to.
Yeah.
All right.
You
So I
gotta know
think
what
we're
you can
supposed to go over there to do some work. You ready?
You're going to show us some low impact exercises. So
Right.
we're talking about overweight persons. But before we just do that, just one thing. How important is it that you change your eating along with introducing exercise?
It's even more important than the exercising.
Yeah.
Honestly. And I'm telling you that as a fitness instructor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is more important than the training. You spend more time eating than you do working out if you think about it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
You eat a major meal for breakfast, you eat a major meal for lunch, you eat a major meal for your supper, and snacks in between.
Yeah.
Think about all the time that you put into eating, and then think about the few minutes, if even any minutes at all, that you put into exercise for the day.
Yeah.
It's just not the same. So you have to think about all the calories that you're putting in throughout the day, and then you have to think about the deficit that you need to put yourself at
Yeah.
in order to lose weight at all.
It's math.
Kate-
It's how much you put in and how much you take out.
Yeah.
Correct.
But Kate,
So,
go ahead.
do you recommend food diaries to people? Is that a
Of
good way to
course.
start?
It is to keep track of whatever you do, of course.
Yeah.
We've heard people say, you know what, you could work out and do whatever you have to do. I think it was, we had a segment whereby they said, you could eat rice and beans every day, you know, that's just portions.
Right?
And then, and while you have these portions, would you recommend? Because
The thing is that-
to me, if you want to lose weight, if you want to live a healthy lifestyle, then you need to eat something that is healthy for you.
You need to try to slowly make it, you need to make it seem as something that's doable for people first.
Yeah.
Because the moment they see it as something that's, okay, it's way too challenging, then it becomes harder for them to actually just do it as a means of like the way how they eat,
Yeah.
rather than it being something that they actually have to think about and do,
Yeah.
you know?
It's a lifestyle change.
That's what it has to be.
And that's
what it has to be. So
that's
if it's
the
a little
hard
too
part.
dramatic, then people will be like, oh, okay, well, I'll just do it for the 3 months, and then after that, I'll take a break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's been hard the entire 3 months.
Because you torture
Yeah.
yourself.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
you want to, everything in moderation, really.
Definitely. And people would say, I don't want to go into the gym because the first thing the trainer will do is just bust me up.
Oh, no, man.
No,
The trainer
but
knows what he's doing,
then
he'll take
let
his
me
time.
ask an honest question here. How open are gyms to people who are obese? I've seen some pretty hurtful things online with people who are accustomed to going to the gym saying, oh, when are the overweight people or resolutioners going to stop? It's like, nobody has a monopoly on fitness. Like,
First thing you want to do is just completely clear your mind of all of
Yeah.
the stuff that you've flooded with from the internet.
yeah.
Gyms were made for obese people, really. Gyms are, well, we're extremely welcoming to people who are obese, because you have to understand that you're going in there for yourself.
Yeah.
You're not
Yeah.
going in there to watch other people.
Yeah.
You're not working out for other people, and they're not
Yeah.
working out for you.
Yeah.
You're going in there to do what's best for you, and you're going to work with people who can help you achieve what you need to achieve.
Yeah.
And by the best means, a professional will walk you through that process and let you know it's not going to be a walk in the park.
Yeah.
It's not going to be an overnight thing. It's not even going to be a weekly thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a thing that's going to be done for the rest of your life. And you're going to start off with this way, nice and pacing yourself, and just eventually get to a point where you can actually be pushing yourself and working extremely hard to get the weight down at a more rapid rate.
Yeah, let's shift
Yeah.
over for some of our demonstrations while we continue to talk.
Right.
So can we say what realistically an obese person will lose over time? Like, what can they expect? So if I set my goal, if I need to, I'm going from 300 pounds, I want to get to 200. What's a realistic timeline?
Well, realistically, anybody who's that much overweight
Yeah.
would probably not be very active,
Yes.
right? So
Yeah.
let's say that you're not. And I don't want to offend anybody who is.
Yeah.
But let's assume that you're not. Any slight activity, as opposed to none at all, will get you sweating.
Yeah.
You feel exhausted.
Yeah.
So all you need to do is introduce some activity into your, if it's walking, if it's jogging, if it's stair climbing, if it's going to the gym and doing whatever your trainer asks you to do, which will probably be very low impact
Low
at first.
impact, yeah. What do you mean by low impact?
Anything that doesn't get your heart rate above a certain level. You're not
Okay.
tapping into your aerobics or anything like that.
Okay. And that's important because you may not be healthy enough to handle it yet.
Correct.
Okay.
All right.
So that's what we're going to do today. This is not for someone who wants to tone up and only has 5-10 pounds to lose.
No,
Yeah.
this is just for people who want to get moving.
Hey,
Yeah,
introduction to it.
Okay.
Yes.
Introduction to
Yeah.
fitness 101.
Here
All
we
right.
go.
All right, so first thing you want to do if you're working out and you haven't been for a long time is think about what the best method might be for you if you're following a routine, if you want to do it by reps or if you want to do it by time.
Okay.
So if you're not used to it, time would be the best way to go because time would let you do as much as you can do
Within the span.
within
Yeah.
the period, right? So if you put reps, then you're actually forcing yourself to complete a certain amount. And
Within
if you
a
don't
span of
complete,
time.
exactly, if you don't complete that amount that you're supposed to, like if you say, okay, I have 5 sets of 10 squats to do,
Yeah.
but by the 3rd set, I'm absolutely exhausted
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
can't
You're
make it to 5, I know I feel less accomplished.
Yeah.
So,
Or you compromise form to just hurry get through.
Yes.
correct. You just want to get it done.
Yeah.
That's a
Which
perfect.
isn't the point.
Yeah.
So you're trying to get as much done within a time if you're using time. So I would
Okay.
recommend using interval training
Okay.
in the very beginning.
So,
So-
get just a put on the stop clock on your phone.
And that's it.
Okay.
So let's assume that I did.
Yeah.
We'll start off with basic squats. You're gonna spread your feet. For people who would be,
I think if we face
Yeah.
this way, it's better. Yeah.
Yeah.
for
Just,
people who are larger,
I
you might
don't-
need to space your legs a little bit wider than shoulder width and turn your toes open just a tad bit more and simultaneously push your butt slightly to the back and take a nice low position with your chest nice and high the entire time through. Push your butt, come right back up. And if you should be going very slow. So as you come up, just to make sure that you're resetting and your hip is completely square and in line with your hips and your feet and where it's supposed to be, give your buttocks a little squeeze.
yeah.
Right? So even if
Tighten.
you're slightly turned to the side, if you squeeze it hard enough, your hip will naturally
Well,
realign.
yeah, turn
All right?
Okay. So once again, the proper form: wide legs,
Wide legs, you want to go
toes pointing out.
wide. Right, because you don't want to put any excess pressure on your knees.
I was
Yeah.
gonna
So
ask
going
that, yeah.
wider will be safer for
Yeah.
now, for anybody who's just starting out.
Okay.
All right? A half
when you're
squat would
going
be-
down,
Right. A
what do
half
you
squat
do?
for them would be,
That's
better
for
we go-
start.
For starters,
Yes.
yes. You don't want to go too low and overexert yourself, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
So go where you can come back up, or
Mm-hmm.
go where it gets a little bit hard to come back up.
I would say at the beginning you just want to get familiar with the movements.
Yes.
Okay.
Don't try to do too much at first.
Accomplish the
Okay.
formation before you get
Correct.
into it. Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, so let's
Right.
show that one more time. So here we go. You've never done any exercise. You want to start to get that heart rate going. This is what you're going to try to do. Wide legs, toes out, and
back.
squat down. Put
And the
your
chest stays up.
chest stays up.
Don't look at your feet.
Don't look down.
Try to look straight, either straight ahead or slightly upwards.
Okay.
It'll be perfectly fine.
All right.
So that's first.
So
Right.
you want to set how long? You said to do time intervals. How long would you do that for?
I love Tabata intervals. They're 20 and 10. That's
Yeah.
20 seconds on and
10
10 seconds off.
Okay.
Scientifically proven to give you remarkable results
Yeah.
Okay.
in a short amount of time too.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So
All right.
next thing, another exercise that you can also do. Raise your hands up, straight up, and just do some cross body, high knees. Right to the side. So as opposed to coming straight up, which might be very hard for you if you're trying to
Yeah,
maintain
yeah,
a balance.
yeah.
If you bring your legs back down fast enough, you should be able to maintain.
Across.
Yeah,
Right.
across.
This would add a little bit of difficulty to it, and make it too easy as
Okay.
well.
Yeah, of course.
Right?
Just hands up
Hands straight up
and move your.
and bring the knees all the way up as high as you can or as high as it's comfortable for
Yeah.
you.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Good. 20 seconds. You do it for 20 seconds straight.
As much as you
10.
can do within the 20 seconds, and then you rest
Rest
for
for
10
10.
seconds, and you could try another one.
Do
Okay.
another repetition. All right.
All right, so we started off with those squats, right? You're gonna do 20 seconds of squats, 10 seconds rest. How many reps would you do then?
How many?
Like how many times would I do the 20 seconds?
How many
of
sets
squats?
are that? Those reps?
Okay, so you can set.
I'm
You
so
can
not
set.
a gym person.
You can set for now a small amount of exercises. Let's say we choose 3 different exercises
Okay.
right now.
Yeah.
All right, and then we're going to do
All right.
20 seconds of one, rest for 10, 20 seconds of the other, rest for 10, and then
Okay.
20 seconds of the last
And
one.
he's sweating.
Rest
Look
for
at
10.
that.
Yeah,
Because that's because
yes,
he's so fit.
yes.
I'm
So you
obviously
can
obese.
do it at home too. You can do it at home. You don't want to
Yes, you
go
can.
to the gym.
Yes.
Just start with something and you can do it. So
Right.
we did 2. Let's move on to another one.
Another one.
All right, great.
Yes.
So we're going on the ground now. Take it all the way down. All right, now, realistically, all you really want to do to prepare yourself to be able to do full-on push-up later on, if you can't manage to get yourself completely off the ground, just applying some pressure to the upper body is good enough.
Yeah.
All right, so hands would be a little wider than your shoulders as
Yeah.
well, slightly to the back. Elbows will be about 45 degrees
45
to
degrees.
your torso.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and you'll push as high as you can.
As
You
high
don't
as
really worry
possible.
about bringing your pelvis high up off the ground right now. All right, just focus on getting the shoulders and the chest up.
Yeah.
Your head, your eyes should be at least 3 feet in front of you. You're not looking down between your arms. You're not looking all the way up to put your spine in any compromising position or your neck. 3 feet in front of you is perfectly fine.
As high as
Push
you
up
can
as
go.
high as you can off the floor.
Okay.
So that's helping you build the arm strength?
Arm strength, chest, and even incorporates a little bit of core as you try to stabilize and you're
Definitely.
pushing up.
And what's the
Okay.
duration to stay down? Because for a lot of the times, folks would say, you know what, don't come up, then hurry, go down back.
Don't
Right.
drop
So
yourself
you don't
down.
drop your- yourself
so
back down.
your release, as I prefer to do it, would be 2 times slower than the press.
Okay. Okay.
Or
I'm
whatever
never
the
doing
hang part
push-ups
today.
for you.
That's okay.
No, this is nice.
just
This
so
is really
I'll do
nice.
one.
insane.
For today, I'll do one.
Yes,
Kidding,
really
yeah.
nice. Really
So
nice.
I like that because you see everybody else doing push-ups, so you want to try to do it too.
Right.
Yeah.
But this is just starting off where you can.
Exactly.
Okay.
Don't worry about all the guys doing any plyometric, clapping push-ups and all
Yeah.
that. But you'll get there eventually. But
Yeah, this is where you start.
for now, this is where you'll start.
Yeah.
Right now, we
Yes,
just want to
thank
get
you.
our upper body off the ground.
Okay.
That's all we want to do.
So that's the
and
third
then
one.
slowly, you'll get better. You find yourself getting stronger. You'll be
Yeah.
able to bring your pelvis up and your entire core up off the floor. Before you know it, you're putting your feet down on the floor and you're doing full-on push-ups.
All right, do the
Yeah.
clap
And then
now.
if you get to the
There you
plyometric,
go.
and all the other ones. So,
There was a
That
scary
was a
moment
little
here.
bit scary.
Oh, don't worry, I got
Yeah. No, you should be able to
All right,
handle it.
so-
All right. So that's the third one.
that's the third
Yeah.
one. Now we're gonna add all 3, and you can do them by rounds now.
Okay.
Now, if you're splitting them up, you're doing one after the other, then you'll feel good that you're able to get through all 3 different exercises rather than spending too much time on the first one and getting too tired to do the second.
Yeah.
Or doing the first and the second and getting too tired to do the third.
Yeah.
So spend a little time on each one. That'll prevent you from getting bored as well. All right, so
Yeah.
20 on one, 20 on the other, 20 on that. Rest for a longer period of time, and then try another round if you can.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
All right.
Okay.
So that's the way it
As
is.
simple as that.
As simple as that. And trust me, by the end of it, you'll be sweating like me.
That was, I
All
think
right,
that's
you want-
absolutely doable.
Yeah.
For anybody who's obese, it just takes, and remember, you push yourself as far as you can go.
Yes.
What if you feel any pain? What if I do the squat and my knees
Knees
start
starting to hurt.
hurting? Or I do the lift and my back starts hurting? What's your advice in just knowing how far I can go?
Well, if you start to feel any type of pain, then you might want to search for a different variation. There are different variations to every single exercise out there.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so if you, granted you don't have a trainer, it's as simple as going on the internet and looking it up.
Yeah.
You know, everybody has a phone, I assume.
Yeah.
And they just sell to give out data left, right, and center.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So just look it up on YouTube and
if
find
you need to look it up on YouTube to find a different variation to all of these different exercises, these are all the low impact ones, so chances are they won't be too hard to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
They don't really get much simpler than this. But even so, there are still different things that you can do to replace those.
Of course.
All right. And just final advice to someone who really is ready to make that plunge. And
Yeah.
that's a big jump.
Final advice is the best time to start is now, really.
Yeah.
If you start moving today, then you don't have to worry about doing it later. You won't have to prepare for any time in the year. You don't say, oh, well, I need to get my spring body, or oh, I need to get my summer body. If all year you're working towards your body,
Yeah.
right?
All right.
Thank you.
Time is now.
Key one. Thank you,
All
buddy.
right.
It's never a problem.
Everybody can get healthy. You just gotta start. Thank you. And as we showed you, even K1 is sweating from that. So it is exercise that's gonna start to give you the results that you want. Don't be intimidated. Just do it.
Just do
begin.
it.
Yeah.
It's
All
that easy.
right. We got to go ahead and take a break. And when we come back, we're shifting to music now. It's going to be beautiful Belizean voices. That's coming up after the break, so stay tuned.
All right.
today's busy business environment,